everybody, Chef Rob. Now that barbecue season is starting, we're going to make some Hoison honeyed babyback ribs. One of the first things we're going to do with this is we're going to make a marinade, and we're going to let the ribs sit in the marinade for 12 to 24 hours. We'll really let it soak through to the meat and make it nice and tender, very flavorful, and then we're going to grill them. So let's start making our marinade. I'm going to use some rice wine vinegar. I'm using an unseasoned one. A seasoned one just has a little salt and a little sugar. Either one would be fine. So if you do have only one of them in the house, you can use the one that you have. So 1 tablespoon the rice wine vinegar. I'm going to use a 1/2 cup of molasses. Very thick, very salty, but it has a lot of flavor. Going to put in a 1/4 cup of honey. Now honey, the way for not to have it stick in your measuring cup, just give the measuring cup a quick spray, just like that, and then you can just start squeezing this in here, and then you will get all the honey right out, so you won't have any left in there. Okay, the 1/4 cup. We're going to put in there. When we're done with all these ingredients, what we're going to do is we're going to whisk it all together really well, and then we're going to coat our babyback ribs. Okay. Now I am going to add 2 tablespoons of canola oil. Canola oil is very good for when it goes on the barbecue because it can really take the heat. Okay, so 2 tablespoons. This marinade here will also be good for chicken, barbecue chicken. That'd be really good. Kebabs. And now I'm going to add 1 scallion. Just going to use the white part and a little bit of the light green, not the dark green. So I'm just going to cut this part off right here. Cut the little root off. Then I'm actually going to cut it lengthwise, and then I'm going to give it a very small chop. Okay, ready to go into the marinade, and then we're going to whisk this up really good. What you're doing is kind of bringing it all together, all these flavors together. If you ever want like a little garlic in there, that would work out well too. So this here would go perfect. The best way to do it with the babyback ribs is have them in a Ziploc bag just like this, ready to be marinated. Try to make it as simple and not messy at all. Take this marinade right here, hold the bag up, and pour everything right in there. And now you seal this bag up, and then you can kind of just move all the ingredients around. Every few hours, if you think of it, just go back to the refrigerator, take it out, and kind of mix all those flavors all together so those ribs really get coated really well. So when this is done marinating, we're going to throw it on the barbecue, and we're also going to roast it in the oven for a while. Okay, so this is what it should look like when it's going into your refrigerator. Okay, our ribs have been marinating for about 20 hours, okay? So anywhere up to 12 hours is perfect. The more you marinate them, the better. So 24 hours is more than enough time. So I had them in a Ziploc bag, and every few hours I would kind of just toss it around. I wanted to get that marinade all over these ribs. So I'm now going to take these out of the Ziploc bag. I'm placing it on this tray right here. Babyback ribs are so delicious. They are so nice and tender as long as you cook them properly. I'm going to also drizzle this marinade on top of it to let it all cook in. Okay, and have really good flavor. What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to put this in a 325 oven for about an hour. And then when we're done with that, we're going to go out to the barbecue. We're going to start grilling them. So before they go into the oven, what I want to do is take some aluminum foil and I want to cover this. You can almost kind of steam them cooked through. Okay. Just like that. Another way to do it, you could take some aluminum foil and put this all into like almost like a little pouch. You just have to make sure there's no little holes in the aluminum foil, because otherwise it'll go through. This is probably your safest way to put it into the oven. One of these pans is a cookie tray, or even one like those disposable trays. Be fine. Okay, so 325, 1 hour. Okay, so our baby back ribs were in the oven for almost an hour and a half, depending on how thick they are. These are a little thicker baby back ribs, so if you don't feel like the meat is pulling off the bone, leave them in the oven until they seem like they're ready and you can cut them right through. Now that they're cooked basically all the way through, I want to get it nice and charred. Okay, so I'm just going to take these ribs here. I'm cooking them on a medium-high heat. We're going to cook them for about 5 to 7 minutes on each side. So just stay close to the barbecue. Keep an eye on them because you don't want them to burn, because the sauce can make it burn. Because it has a lot of sugar in there on the glaze. Okay. When you have drippings left in the pan, what you can always do is take them and put it in a pot and just kind of reduce it down for about 5 minutes. If you prefer a little extra juice on at the end, you take the juices from the pot and just drizzle them right onto the pan. You'll see it all on the recipe. Let me just check, see how the ribs are. Okay. So you're getting a nice charredness to them, but you don't want them to burn. So I'm just going to move them over here. Okay. Keep them medium high. If you're a little afraid it might get away from you, the flame, just keep it a little bit lower. Okay, stay with it. 5 to 7 minutes each side. Okay, our ribs should be done now. Let's just keep an eye on these here. Okay, perfect. These are really nice and charred, okay, but not burnt. Okay, has a nice crispness to it. I'm going to take this one off as well. Okay, you can see all the way underneath. Nice golden brown. They're going to slice really well. Okay. So these are ready to serve. They're ready to have some corn on the cob, some coleslaw, potato salad with it, and enjoy.